When you die, and I know that is not the most comfortable sentence to start a video with, but when you die, your bank account freezes. Immediately, automatically, without warning to anyone. Your family cannot touch it, cannot pay your bills with it, cannot cover your funeral with it, cannot access a single dollar, even if your name is on the account, even if they desperately need it right now, unless you file one specific form at your bank for free. That takes about 10 minutes. Most people have never heard of it. Most banks will not bring it up unless you ask. And most families find out it exists at the worst possible moment. Today we are making sure you are not one of those families. Let me tell you about Eleanor. Eleanor was 71 years old, retired school teacher, organized woman. Had her affairs, she thought, mostly in order. She had a will, she had a life insurance policy, she had a pension. She even had a folder in her filing cabinet labeled important documents that her son Marcus knew existed because she had told him about it at least 4 times. Eleanor passed away on a Tuesday morning in February. Marcus, her only child, flew in from out of state, took compassionate leave from work, sat in his mother's house, surrounded by her things, her reading glasses still on the kitchen table, and tried to begin the practical process of settling her affairs. First thing he needed to do, access her bank account to pay for the funeral. The bank told him no. Not because Marcus had done anything wrong, not because Eleanor had done anything wrong, not because there was any dispute about who Marcus was or what had happened, but because Eleanor had never filed a specific form that would have allowed Marcus, her own son, her only family, to access that money immediately. Without that form, Eleanor's bank account went into a legal process called probate, and probate, in their state, took 7 months. 7 months. Marcus had to pay for his mother's funeral out of his own savings, had to cover her final bills from his own pocket, had to wait 7 months to access money that was without any question intended for him. Eleanor had a will. Eleanor had a folder. Eleanor had tried to be organized. She just did not know about this one form. I am Zig. Welcome to Learn Finance with Zig, where we make money make sense. Today we are talking about the one free form that would have changed everything for Eleanor's family and exactly how to make sure your family never goes through what Marcus did. Let us get into it. Let us start with what actually happens. Because most people assume, reasonably but incorrectly, that a will handles everything. It does not. When you die, your bank account does not automatically transfer to anyone. It does not look at your will. It does not check who your family members are. It does not care that your intentions were completely clear to everyone who knew you. Your bank account simply freezes. It goes into a legal process called probate. Probate is the court-supervised process of authenticating your will, identifying your debts, and distributing your assets to your heirs. This process is slow. Probate typically takes 6 months to 2 years, depending on the state or country and the complexity of the estate. Expensive probate court fees, executor fees, and legal fees can consume between 3 and 8% of the total estate value. On a $200,000 estate, that is up to $16,000 in fees just to distribute what you already intended to give away. Public probate records are public documents. Anyone can look up what you earned, who your heirs are, and exactly what they received. Stressful. Your family is dealing with grief and navigating a legal process simultaneously. These two things should not happen at the same time. They do not have to, and all of this, every single part of it, can be bypassed for a specific type of account with one form, filed for free at your bank in about 10 minutes. The form is called a Payable on Death Designation, or POD for short. Some banks call it a Transfer on Death form, TOD. Same thing, different name, same result. Here is how it works in the simplest possible terms. You go to your bank in person, or often online now. You fill out a form that names a specific person or persons as your beneficiary, the person you want to receive the money when you are gone. That form gets attached to your account. It sits there quietly. Your account continues to work exactly as normal. You can still spend from it, save to it, change the beneficiary anytime you want. Nothing about your daily banking changes at all. But when you die, the account does not go to probate. Your beneficiary goes to the bank with a copy of your death certificate, shows their identification, and the bank transfers the funds directly to them. No court, no lawyer, no 7-month wait, no fees consumed from the balance. Just here's the money your loved one intended for you. Have a good day. That is it. That is the entire mechanism. A form you fill out once, that sits quietly in the background, that activates at the exact moment your family needs it most. Eleanor never filed this form. Marcus waited 7 months, paid fees, covered costs out of his own pocket during one of the hottest periods of his life. One form, filed once, free, that is the entire difference. Now let me address the thought that might be in your head right now. Zig, I am young. I do not need to worry about this yet. Let me tell you something about unexpected death. It does not check your age first. Car accidents, medical emergencies, Sudden illness. Life does not wait until you have your affairs in order to present you with a crisis. The pod form is not just for elderly people with large estates. It is for anyone with money in a bank account, which is most people watching this video. Anyone with people who depend on them. A spouse, a child, a parent, a sibling you support. Anyone who does not want their family to deal with probate court, which is everyone, once they understand what probate actually involves. Anyone who wants their wishes carried out immediately, not 7 months later, after court fees have taken their cut. If you are 23 with $2,000 in a checking account, this form matters. If you are 45 with 3 children and a savings account, this form matters enormously. If you are 70 with a retirement nest egg, this form is one of the most important financial documents you will ever complete. There is no age at which this becomes irrelevant. This is the section that surprises people the most, and the one Eleanor's story illustrates perfectly. Eleanor had a will. Eleanor thought a will covered everything. Eleanor was wrong about one specific and very important thing. A will does not override a bank account's ownership rules. Here is why this matters. A will is a legal document that goes through probate court. The court then uses the will to distribute assets. But bank accounts, unless they have a pod designation, go through that same probate process before anyone can touch them. Which means even if your will clearly states I leave everything to my son Marcus, Marcus still cannot access the bank account until probate is complete. Regardless of what the will says, the bank operates under its own rules until released by the court. Now here is the flip side that is equally important to understand. A pod designation overrides your will for that specific account. If your will says one thing and your pod form names a different person, the pod form wins every time. This is why it is critical to keep your beneficiary designations updated after major life events: divorce, remarriage, death of a named beneficiary, birth of a child. You want to include Eleanor's will and her pod designation, had she had one, would need to name the same person to avoid any confusion. Review and update them together every time something significant changes in your family. Now some of you are thinking, Zig, I have a joint account with my spouse. That covers it, right? Partially, but not completely. And this is where a lot of people make an expensive assumption. A joint account with a right of survivorship, meaning both names are on the account and either person can access it, does transfer automatically to the surviving account holder when one person dies. So yes, if you and your spouse have a joint account, your spouse can access it immediately after your death without probate. But here's what a joint account does not cover. What happens when the surviving spouse also passes away? Now the account has no surviving joint holder, and if there is no pod designation, that account goes right back into probate. The joint account buys one generation of transfer. The pod form covers what happens after that. They are not the same tool. They solve different parts of the same problem. Married? Wonderful. File a joint account and a pod designation naming your children or next intended heirs. Both, not one or the other. That combination means the money flows correctly through 2 generations without either requiring probate court. Alright, practical time. Here is exactly how to file the pod form for your own accounts. Step 1. Call or visit your bank. Ask specifically about adding a payable on death beneficiary or transfer on death designation to your account. Use those exact phrases. Every major bank and credit union offers this. Step 2. Have your beneficiary's information ready. You will need their full legal name, their date of birth, their social security number or national identification number, their relationship to you. Step 3. Fill out the form. In many cases, this can now be done online through your bank's portal in under 10 minutes. Some banks require an in-person signature. Either way, it is free. Step 4. Get confirmation. Ask the bank to confirm in writing or via email that the pod designation has been added to your account. Keep a copy with your important documents. Step 5. Tell your beneficiary. This is the step most people forget. Your beneficiary needs to know they are named. They need to know which bank and which account, because when the time comes, they will need to go to that bank with your death certificate and their identification. If they do not know to go, the form does nothing. Step 6. Review it when life changes. Marriage, divorce, death of a beneficiary, new child. Anytime your family structure changes, update your pod designations to match. That is it. 6 steps. Free. 1 afternoon. Protection that lasts. Marcus eventually got access to his mother's account. 7 months later, after the probate process concluded. The balance was smaller than expected. Legal fees and court costs had taken their portion. Marcus used the remaining money exactly how his mother would have wanted. He donated some to her favorite charity. He kept a small amount as a memory. He used some to cover the funeral costs he had paid out of his own pocket months earlier. He also, the very next week, went to his own bank and filed a pod form naming his 2 children as beneficiaries. Took 11 minutes, cost nothing. His children will never have to wait 7 months during the worst week of their lives. That is the gift Marcus gave them. That is the gift you can give to people you love today. So there it is. When you die, your bank account freezes. Immediately, automatically, regardless of your will, unless you have filed a payable on death designation, a POD or TOD form, naming the person or people you want to receive that money directly. It is free. It takes 10 minutes. It is available at every major bank and credit union, and it bypasses probate completely, giving your family access to your money when they need it most instead of 7 months later. Eleanor had a will. Eleanor had a folder. Eleanor had good intentions. She just did not have this one form. You do now? Go to your bank this week. Ask for the payable on death form. Fill it out. Tell your beneficiary. Done. That 10 minutes might be the most valuable 10 minutes you spend this year. Smash that like button. Subscribe to Learn Finance with Zig and share this one. Seriously, send it to your parents. Send it to your siblings. Send it to anyone you love who does not know this exists. Drop a comment. Did you already have a pod form, or is this the first time you are hearing about it? I will see you in the next one. Stay smart, stay wealthy, and take care of the people you love.